to another episode of Bonsai's Forever. Alright, so I've been needing to do some work on this for a little while. It's got a bunch of fruit on it because I wanted the fruits to be on it. Not making a lot of sense. It's been a long day. It's been a really long day. It's been a great day, but it's been a long day. So I'm a little tired. It always seems like I get to work on my trees when I'm tired and can't think straight. So that's when I do the videos. So hopefully I don't ramble on too much. I'm not going to do a whole lot of work to this right now. I'm going to cut off some stuff and just talk about the tree a little bit. So this is a orange jasmine. The orange jasmine is a really awesome tree. This is my only one. I haven't been able to propagate any of the branches yet. I've kind of been just letting it grow and get established before I do that. I haven't really done a whole lot of large branch trimming. I've done like tips of branches and stuff like that, but I haven't really done anything that has any substantial size to it yet, so I haven't really been able to propagate this. Very cool tree. It grows these little fruit, and each one of these fruits that is large enough, like the red one here, these little green ones. Now, let me bring you guys in just a little bit. Okay, so the red fruit here is ripe. The little green ones are not, and I don't think they're going to ripen. They are actually squishy, and they shouldn't be squishy. They should be nice and firm. The red one is actually starting to get a little squishy as well. And of course I forgot my scissors in the greenhouse. And I'm in the workshop. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these berries off. And something really cool about these berries is each berry has a couple of seeds in it. Open it up for you guys. So check this out. This one has one seed in it. I've gotten some of them that have 2 seeds in them. This seed should be a good seed. So I'm going to be saving all the seeds. The fruit you can actually eat. They're a very, very citrusy flavor, which I'm not gonna eat them, but I have before. It's just they're very, very, very citrusy, and I don't feel like eating one right now. But you can eat them. Like I said, I have before. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take off all of the fruit from the tree, so that the tree can start putting its energy back into growing. So this isn't something that I hear very many bonsai artists doing, like, really ever. They typically don't leave a lot of fruit on their trees, fruiting trees even, apples, oranges, citrus trees. I mean, you do see pictures where they've got like this one ginormous apple on this tiny little tree. I have seen sometimes if they have a crabapple tree, they'll leave some of the crab apples, but usually that's for a show, and they grow those fruit. And I don't know, I'm not an expert on that. I don't really actually know anybody, but what I would think, they would just grow those fruit, go to the show, and then take the fruit off. And I actually have watched a video of somebody that has a couple of fruit trees, and that's what he did. Because when you grow your tree that has the capabilities of fruiting, once it fruits, it is putting all of its energy into that fruit to produce seeds, to produce, the next generation of tree. So the rest of the tree, it really does suffer from the production of the fruit. So most bonsai artists that I know of or have watched videos of, they don't leave fruit on their trees because of that. They don't want to kill their tree. They don't want to overstress it. they're developing the tree, so they want it to grow faster, and they don't grow fast with the fruit. They're putting, like I said, they're putting all the energy of the fruit production and taking all the energy from the tree to produce the fruit. I'll even make sure that I'm showing you guys everything. Yeah, you guys can see everything. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm kind of doing the same thing that I do with the sarissa trees. After they flower, I'll cut it back to the next branch, and then from there it can grow again. So it's coming up on spring. I let this fruit all winter. I have taken the red fruits off previous to now, so I have a few of them that I've already saved, and now I'm going to go ahead and finish taking them off because they are starting to dry out, which shows that the tree is done giving its energy. It knows what time of year it is. I mean, the temperature is starting to get warmer, longer. It's starting to get warmer during the day, like even warmer than just a little bit warmer during the day. It's actually starting to warm up. And so it's showing signs of the new season. The days are starting to get longer, I think. So the tree knows that the growing season is coming. And the tree doesn't want to be putting all of its invested energy into the fruit anymore. It wants to start to produce more leaves and more branches and to grow for the summer. Yeah, I should probably be wearing my glasses for this. I can't see at night. My eyes get tired and then they start getting blurry. So anyway, so yeah, I'm just cutting back to the next branch. I mean, as you can see, it grows a bunch of little fruit, and the flowers on this tree. I think I've done a video on this before, but I'll just go over it a little bit more. The flowers on this tree are super potent in their fragrance. I mean, it's amazing. I love it. You can smell these things from like 100 yards away when they're all flowered out. So really awesome. I really like this tree, and I'm really excited to see it start growing again. Excuse me. It's been in the greenhouse all winter. This isn't something that I would feel comfortable leaving outside. So check this out. Like I said, it is actually starting to grow again. Because if you see right here, see if I can get in close enough. That's new leaves. So yeah, super exciting. I hope that's not too blurry for you guys. So this tree is going to get started growing again, and it's got some more new foliage right here, some new growth right here, a lot of new growth up in this section here too. So I am going to be trimming some of these older leaves back to get them out of the way for the new growth here. And I think I'm going to shorten this branch back to the new growth and let that be the end of the branch. And it's got a fruit on there too, so see what I can do with that. And it does have some new growth here. So I think I'm going to leave this branch for now. Yeah, I'm going to leave that branch for now. This whole branch here that's standing up, I'm going to take that guy off because it's growing pretty much straight up. Don't need that. I kind of want to start filling this into a pad. I might do some wiring, or I might let this start getting new foliage, and when it starts growing, then I'll start trimming some others. Wow, excuse me. Got the hiccups. So I might start letting this grow and then cutting these branches back that are going straight up. I don't know if this is big enough to wire out. These do grow relatively quickly, So I don't know if I want to put wire on it and then have the wire dig into the tree, because I don't know what that'll do. Honestly, I have wired this previously, but I wired the woody branches. I haven't wired any of the green branches, and I don't think I want to, because like I said, I don't want to cause wire scars on it, and I don't want to kill the branch because I left it on too long. Then I've got this branch that's growing like straight up in the air here. I've got this branch that's growing all straight up in the air. I could wire this one down, which I probably will later on. It's got a new branch starting right here, so I'll probably cut it back to that once I wire it down and see if I can twist it out so where that branch will be the new leader. And also it does have the leaves here, and it looks like it's got some new growth right here. So I'm going to cut it back to that new growth. And I don't know if these die back. I don't remember. I don't do a whole lot of work on this tree. That's one of the nice things about this tree. It grows relatively quickly, but it doesn't get too out of control. And I've wanted this tree to get bigger, because when I got it, it was like a little twig. I think it was about the size of this branch just right here. Just this piece right here. That's all the bigger it was. I'm pretty sure. It might have been as big as this branch, but it wasn't big. And I wanted it to get bigger. So I've pretty much just kept it maintained and trimmed it back a little bit at a time. And it does look like it does die back to the next node, because I've got a branch right here that's died back. So yeah, if it does die back like that, I probably would not recommend trimming it right to the branch that you want to keep. I would trim it in between the two nodes, like right here. I would trim it there, which I'm going to get rid of the end of this branch anyway. All right, so I'm going to cut it in between the two nodes. So this is a node and this is a node. So I'm going to cut it in the middle right here. And then if it does die back, it'll die back. This piece will die back. And once that's all died back and brown and dried out, then I'll come back here and cut it kind of in an angle like that, and it won't look like it was there at all. Just like this piece right there. I mean, it just broke right off. And then, if I can get the camera to stand up and not be in my way. Okay, so this piece here, that's another piece. So now I'll go and cut that flush. All right, so now I'll go through as I'm cutting branches back, and I'll catch all these little pieces that I left the last time I trimmed it. So, kind of like I said earlier, I don't know a whole lot about these trees yet. This is the first one I've ever had. I've only had it a couple of years. But I mean, I know how to keep it alive. I just don't know all the in and outs of trimming it yet. So it looks like this might turn into a new branch back here. So I'm going to cut this back just like that, because that had a fruit on the end of it anyway. And I'm going to cut this dead part back also. And then going back and trimming up the little knobs here. There's a knob here from a larger branch coming off of it, and that's already died back. That one I just cut, that one I just cut. Cut the end of that off. Alright, so I'm going to cut this branch here off. I'm going to leave this piece here for now. I think you guys can see that. Yeah, so I cut the top of this branch off here, because it was kind of going just straight up. There's a new bud right here. Alright, so let's move up the tree a little bit here now. I don't like that I can't don't like that I can't turn the tripod without turning the whole thing. It is kind of a small tripod. It's like a um, selfie stick type of thing, which it has been pretty nice. The only thing is, I wish I could just turn the camera a little bit. All right, come up in here, get those fruit off. I'm gonna cut it back to here. So it kind of looks like this is very similar to a lot of other trees where it will grow a new branch from in front of a leaf. So if you're directional pruning, then that would be your guidance into the direction that you're gonna prune. Now, if you cut it back like this, and there is no branch left, can you guys see that? Right here, yeah, right here. And there's no branch or no leaves left. There's a knob right there that might turn into a branch, but I kind of doubt it. I think that's going to die back, and I'll just cut it off later. It's not usually really complicated to figure out how a tree grows. It might take you a little while of trial and error, as long as your errors don't exceed the tree's capability of recovering. I have done that before. I've killed so many trees, but the other way, obviously, is to learn from somebody else's experiences, and that typically is the best way to go. But I mean, if you don't have somebody that's done a video or has written something on the type of tree that you're working on, just observe it really closely before you start doing some crazy stuff to it. Do like if you're trying to trim it back and you don't know how it responds to certain types of pruning, go to one branch that's really healthy, really nice, and cut a small part back, and then watch it for a while to see if it does die back, if it dies back to the next node, if it dies, and just do different kinds of trimming on it to figure out how your tree works. And then later on, you'll know how it works because you did the research yourself, because somebody had to have done the research if they know what they're talking about on the tree that they're working on. Somebody had to have practiced and messed up and practiced and messed up and killed trees. And I don't condone just going out and buying trees to kill them. I mean, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be keeping the trees alive and making them look beautiful, right? But there's sometimes that you have to do that. I've never seen a video on an orange jasmine. I'm not saying they're not out there, but I've never seen one. So I'm kind of doing a lot of my own trial and error and research on this tree. And I mean, obviously I'm not doing bad. I don't think this tree looks super fantastic right now, but I know that it's mostly because of the fruit. Not all because of the fruit, but mostly because of the fruit. So so the next step on this tree is going to be to wait until it starts warming up even more, because it is starting to warm up, but it's not there yet. It's still very early spring. So the next step will be to repot this tree. I repotted it last spring into this larger pot because it was in a smaller pot, and I repotted it into this pot so that it would get larger faster. That's going to be a series that I'm going to be doing. I started the series already on the one that says grow faster, little tree, or little bonsai. I think it's a little tree, but anyway, I'm going to be doing a series on how to make your trees grow faster and get your trees bigger. So in this one, I'm working on this tree, but I'll throw that in there. Put your tree into a bigger pot. I mean, that's a very big thing. And you put your tree into a bigger pot, maintain it, fertilize it like you're supposed to, and it will grow faster. It'll thicken up, it'll get bigger, and then later on I can get a really nice ceramic pot that fits the size of the tree. I can shrink the tree down as it grows and matures to fit the right size pot with the trunk, and make everything more to scale. But yeah, no, I'm just rambling because I don't know what else to say. I'm just kind of sitting back and admiring this tree. I don't get to really just study it very much. I've got a lot of stuff that I've been working on other than this, because I've been letting the fruit grow. So it's really nice to be able to just kind of sit back and look at your trees every once in a while, admire them, and just take it in, because I mean, they're just so interesting, a lot of trees, and so beautiful. So I just really like this tree. And now that it doesn't have fruit, I'll give you guys an update when I go ahead and repot this, when it warms up, and just kind of, I'm going to give you guys a spin around of it so you guys can kind of see what it looks like now, the leaves and whatnots, if you can see it. I know I've got tools and stuff back here, but I think you guys can see it. But it's got some yellowing, a little bit of yellowing, very light colored leaves, and that's just because it's been giving all of its energy to the fruit and the new growth. So the new growth, it's got a lot of new growth. The more I look at it, there's some up here, right here, up in this area, down here. I mean, it's like every major branch has some new growth on it. So yeah, I think it's just going to explode with growth now that I took the fruit off of it. Okay, so also in this video, I am going to take a cutting from this tree, because this looks kind of silly, just growing straight up, but the branches are kind of on all sides. So that would be a really good start to a new tree. And I know I said that they'd probably die back, so I'm going to cut it at the second node. I'm going to cut it right at the second node, because I don't mind if it grows or it dies back to this main branch. If it doesn't, this branch is still sticking up kind of, so I might cut that back later on to get it to die back to this branch. But yeah, so that's going to be a new tree, hopefully. So I know I've done plenty of videos on how to propagate other trees. So basically I'm going to do exactly the same thing, put the rooting hormone on here, put it in the sand, and once it starts growing new foliage and new leaves and whatnot, starts growing a little bit, then you know it's got roots. So yeah, and I don't take a lot of the leaves off when I do cuttings, because I do have a greenhouse and it is like 89% humidity in there, so I'm not too worried about these too worried about the leaves losing a whole lot of moisture. They'll be just fine because they're in the greenhouse. I don't think that I'm going to be able to keep any of these other branches, because they all have fruit on them. So I think that'll be the only one I'll be able to keep. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the video here, because otherwise I'm just going to be blah blah blah. Right on. So appreciate y'all watching. Go ahead and check out the Amazon link in the description for the Amazon wish list. It really helps me out. I'm actually starting to see some traffic on there, so thank you all for doing that. I really appreciate it. If you haven't, go check it out, and leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one.